I saw something back there that Tweetness would be interested in. There was a, I didn't film it, I suppose I can on the way out. What I think is a geocaching packet. Kind of like bungee corded onto one of these trail markers at the entrance to the woods here. Said something about to find the box, some clue about whatever, go here. I thought I would do some tag questions. I just did something dumb on the way over here. I know that's, hard to believe, but when backing out of the garage, I, for some stupid reason, didn't even see, realize, or notice that the Smoky Joe, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a sort of a mini Weber grill, was behind my car on the ground, and I backed over it. I heard it, so I didn't, back all the way over it, but I backed over it enough that it knocked it over and bent the legs beneath it. So my question is, have you ever backed over something like that? Were you clueless as me and didn't notice that there was something behind your car and you backed over it by accident? Question 2 is something that I've been meaning to ask, relating to a case in the news. If you had some type of cosmetic surgery, whether it be something on your face or a boob job or something, and then after the doctor contacted you and asked your permission to put your photos, your name, and your case in a book he was writing on whatever type of cosmetic surgery you had done. You're not going to get paid. He just wants to know if he has your permission to have your pictures before and after and all that in his book. Would you let him? Now, for me, I don't think I would. I would be embarrassed. I shouldn't be, it's not something to be embarrassed about, but since it's me, I would be. If it was not a cosmetic procedure, but some type of procedure that benefits your health or would be of benefit to other people by my case being included in this book, then I probably would say yes. But if it's just a cosmetic type of a thing, I don't know. I think that's personal, and I think I would not want to be in the book. How about you? By the way, I just heard high-pitched call, and then a hawk flew by. So maybe it wasn't an eagle after all. Maybe it was a hawk. Question 3. Have you ever caught yourself compulsively spending for whatever reason? And did you have to rein it in? And what were you buying? Now for me, I have to stop buying teddy bears. It's my latest compulsion, and it's getting out of hand. I need to stop. So that's my answer. I'm just going to have to try and put my foot down and say, or paw down, and say, okay, Steve, you've got enough. Stop it. I think this is question 4. Have you ever lost a loved one or a friend, acquaintance, and tried to find them again? Buzzpee's leash. The retractability of his retractable leash is going defunct. I hate that when that happens. He's killed, I don't know, like maybe 3 leashes so far. Okay, back to the question. Have you ever tried to locate somebody that you lost track of? And were you successful? I ask this because I keep thinking I'm going to try and locate Billy. For those of you who might remember Billy, he was funny haha312 on YouTube. He's just disappeared. Nobody has heard from him since, I believe, either late last year, early this year. And his Facebook and YouTube channels are still up, but he'd given up participating in social media even before he disappeared. And he told me that he was very proud that he had given that up and had stayed away from it for so long. He and I texted. We became friends off of YouTube, and we would text and sometimes phone call and email almost every day for like the 4 years that we knew each other. But then just one day he just went silent, and eventually the cell number that I had for him that we used to text back and forth went out of service. Now, maybe he just was tired with all of us. It's not just me. Al hasn't heard from him. Squincy hasn't heard from him. For all I know, nobody has heard from him. Maybe he just got tired of us and moved on. Maybe he doesn't want to be found. But there's another side to it too. He was not well. Yes, he was young, in his 20s. Yes, he was big. He was 6'11", I believe, close to 300 pounds. But he was ill, chronic insomnia, and he was on multiple very strong medications. Some of the strongest that can be prescribed, and they still weren't helping him. He was rather depressed. He had suicide in his history and in his family history. His mother and his uncle both committed suicide. He attempted suicide when he was a kid. And he had just recently developed thyroid cancer, which his mother had also had. But there was an incident last year, I believe it was, where he was waiting in line at a Walgreens to get some prescriptions, and he passed out and woke up in the hospital. So he was not well, and it just makes me wonder: is he alive? Is he dead? It would be kind of nice to know. So I don't have very much to go on. He was very secretive. He did not let any of us know his last name. For all we know, or I know, Billy might not have been his real first name. But I have his birth date. I have his location as far as state. I don't have his address. I have his height. I know that he was in the military, or at least he said he was. But I was going to try to locate him or have some type of record just to see if he's alive or dead. What happened to him? Makes me sad, because, like I said, he and I were kind of close. We talked every day. I'd like to know if he was alive or dead. So anyway, that's my answer. I keep thinking I want to try to do something. I don't know if anybody can help me, because on the scant information I have. But I was thinking of calling some type of military veteran information to see if they could have any sort of record of somebody born on his birth date that was 6'11" and from the state of Texas. You know, maybe they could tell me if he's still receiving his veteran benefits or whatever, which would intimate that he was still alive. Maybe they would have a record that he passed away. I don't know. I keep thinking I'm going to try it and I never get around to it. Because I don't want to sound like a nut, you know. What am I going to say? I knew this person online and they didn't let me know his last name. Is he still alive? Damn you, Billy. He once told me that he would prefer it if nobody knew when he died, even his family. You know, see, he was saying weird things like that, and he was giving away his money. He was trying to make sure that his relatives were taken care of, and that all of his finances and money and stuff was given away. So I'm worried. I'm concerned. I don't know what happened. Maybe he was pulling my leg. I don't know. But it'd be nice to know. That's my answer to that question. Okay, my last question, I believe it's question 5. Do you participate in sweepstakes? Like the Publisher Clearinghouse? I'm not talking about the lottery. I'm talking about sweepstakes like the Publisher Clearinghouse. I don't know if you guys have that in Britain. But they send you a bunch of spam. It's a bunch of like magazine subscriptions or kitchen gadgets or whatnot. And they tell you that no purchase is necessary to win, but you have to wade through all of the stuff and then send in your entry to win like $5,000 a week for life or something. Do you enter those? I've got a cop to it. I do sometimes enter those. I rarely buy the stuff, so of course I don't win. But even when I have bought the stuff, I haven't won. But I do send it in sometimes, and then sometimes I get tired of it and I think this is just a scam. Why bother? And I don't. And then I'll get in the mood again, or there'll be a good commercial, or it'll sound good, you know, so I'll send it in.